What is going on, people? It is the Witch Doctor, and as you guys have been hearing, there's been a lot of speculations of a Generation 7 coming out for Pokemon. And not that I think that it's coming out or we're going to be introduced to new things. I think new forms is more of what's going to come out instead of a new whole generation. But if a new generation comes out, I'm probably one of the few people who actually really look forward to this. But obviously, when a new generation comes out, they announce new Pokemon. And not only do I get excited for the legendaries, because the starters I get a little hyped for, but not too much. But the legendary is what I get really hyped for. But the second thing that I get really hyped for are the fossil Pokemon. Every generation introduces a new type of fossil Pokemon, and I really cannot wait to see what new fossil Pokemon we're going to get. But this video, I'm going to be showing you a creature that I would love to see as a fossil, or even an evolution to one certain Pokemon that we already have. So let me get right into it. Now, as you saw my little introduction I did right there in the beginning, I'm talking today about the Dunkleosteus. I think that's how you say it. I always mess up. Dunkleosteus, that's how you say it. Dunkleosteus, that thing. It's a really big name to say, but this thing was a massive predator back in the day. And when I mean back in the day, I mean in the Devonian era, which was around 360 to 380 million years ago, guys. So I would hope none of us were around back then. Jam bad. But anyways, this thing roamed the seas that long ago. But let me tell you something, people. This was not a fish to be messed with, because this fish would easily destroy you. And when you think a shark could destroy you, this fish right here would destroy you. So I'm gonna lay aside, I'm gonna put an end to some little rumor, or people always saying, well, what if the Dunkleosteus was to fight the Megalodon? Well, here's the thing. I will give the Megalodon this. The Megalodon is around 18 meters is what scientists speculate its size to be. So 18 meters goes to around 59 feet. The Dunkleosteus is around 10 meters, so that's around 33 feet. So obviously the Megalodon got some big size advantage against the Dunkleosteus, but Dunkleosteus also has a steel-plated face, which its entire head actually is covered with some, not steel, but it's like a really thick, hard armor that it's really hard to break. And that's the only fossil remnants that we actually have of the Dunkleosteus is its actual head. So if this thing was to go head-to-head with a Megalodon, if it was from a front approach, you know, both of them coming at each other, I'd probably go with the Dunkleosteus. But at the same time, I think the Megalodon would take it. I think the Megalodon would win in many situations. So Megalodon would easily beat it. But the thing is, the Megalodon lived in the Cenozoic era, which that was only 15 to 2 million years ago. 2.6 million years. I'm sorry, I have my notes right here. And I'm not saying only, it's just when you compare it to the era that the Dunkleosteus lived, which was almost 80 times that amount of when the Megalodon lived, you know, it's insane. So that's what I would want. I would want a fossil of a Dunkleosteus, and that would be a cool fossil Pokemon for them to introduce. It could be a rock and water type like the other rock and water fossil Pokemon that we have, and it would definitely. So what I was saying about the Megalodon Dunkleosteus thing, I'm not saying that there isn't a period in time where they both could have existed in the same ocean together at the same time, but it's very unlikely since they lived in two different periods. So like I said, who knows? They might have. But I'm straying away from the whole point of this. So if they made a Dunkleosteus Pokemon, I would want it to be something fierce, guys. I wouldn't want it to be like these other Pokemon, other fossil Pokemon that actually have like an evolution, like pre-evolution, and then evolve into it. I would want it to be like Aerodactyl, where it just comes out the fossil as is like that. And if not like Aerodactyl, I would want it to evolve from a Relicanth, because a Coelacanth is actually a very ancient fish, which is why Relicanth is known as a longevity Pokemon, because of for how long those fish live. It's insane for how long those fish are that they can survive. But anyways, it could evolve into that, to a Dunkleosteus. And I know what you're thinking, they kind of look similar, but they're not all that similar, since they're two different kinds of fish. But you know, it's not the first time Game Freak has thrown us with a weird water evolution in the first place, right? So if this thing was to be real in the Pokemon game, also really quick, big shout out to ArnoldTheTruth for showing us a little bit of footage from Hungry Shark Evolution. So you can go check out his channel, because he has gameplay of that there. But it's just like a 3D model of Dunkleosteus, what they have in their game. So that's pretty cool. So thank you again, ArnoldTheTruth. And here are my stats that I would want for this thing. If I was to be someone in Game Freak and actually made this myself, this is what I would want it to have. HP would be 100, attack would be 130, defense 160, special attack 30, special defense 90, and speed 70. I think those are pretty fair stats for something where I would want it to be, since I would want it to be something strong, nothing to push over. Again, it being rock and water definitely kind of hurts it, so that's one thing. And for the abilities, I would either want Rock Head or Sturdy, because obviously this thing would get Head Smash, and this thing having Head Smash would be devastating. Also, Sturdy is a nice option to have too, since it could probably be a really nice stealth rocker, and who knows what kind of moveset it would have. But I'm not getting that too far into it, because yeah, we're already like 7 minutes in. But guys, thank you for watching. It really means a lot to me if you could take a big bite of that like button for me. Show that you're appreciating the little things I do here and these little side things that I like to do, because I'm very fascinated with the creatures of the ocean, more specifically sharks and, you know, carnivorous fish and stuff like that. So yeah, but I'm also very interested in the darkness.